life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or Digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham Solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn out we do. Hey. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man. I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a Matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Cause you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another installment of Everything Plus Gaming on TSWS. I am Luke7, and joining me as always on this fine Monday morning is Taye Talks. Taye, how are you doing? And what have you been
Good.
playing?
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. I realized my picture isn't up, so I'll just change that real quick. But yeah, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Do it in the shadows.
Yeah, as usual, good game. I'm having a good time. Yasuke is fun to play as. Nawe is really fun to play as well. And I like the dynamic that I can change between both. Sometimes I feel like playing as Yasuke. Sometimes I feel like playing as Nawe. Nawe is obviously better overall to play as because she fits the game's mechanics more. But Yasuke is fun. Like, you know, when you're bored and you want to just like take down people left and right, just chop them all over the place, then Yasuke is pretty good.
Smash.
Yeah. And plus, he has some really nice weapons that just it changes up the game, the way you play the game. So it's good. I think I'm probably 20 hours in now. You know, as usual with Ubisoft games, just pace yourself well. Know when to focus on the main story because there's a lot to do, and the last thing you want to do is be doing all these little small side missions, and then you start to kind of like burn yourself out. So focus on the main story and do the side missions occasionally. I think you have a good time.
Is it possible to just main the main story and not do the side missions?
I don't know if that's necessarily as possible. If you play as Nawe, you can just, you know, assassinate everybody. Sure. If you're playing in a normal mode as well, sure. The problem is you need to do activities in the world to level up properly in terms of because some of the levels are gate kept. So you need to do certain activities to get to level 2. And there's some really cool abilities that are needed. For example, imagine if you can assassinate everybody, right? Like the way you want to play Loke. There's a smoke bomb in the game, which you have. Now, if you
Yeah.
get the right perks and abilities to increase your smoke bomb capacity, and then you get another perk that allows smoke bombs to last maybe an extra 10 seconds, you could
Yeah.
pretty much just throw that in a group of high level enemies. It doesn't matter what they are, level 100, 200, you can assassinate every single one of them. So if you play the game really well, you can actually make the game very, very easy. And I've always thought that Assassin's Creed games can be very, very easy if you really want it to be, if you just play right. I don't want that. I hate the idea of me being level 10 and taking out a level 90 enemy. So I'm playing it the slow, hard way.
You're doing it the level gated way. It's not even the right way to do it. Because a proper assassination game is about killing the target.
Mhm.
It's not about, oh, I'm a level 12. My knife is a level 12. His neck is a level 50. No, sir. No. All necks have blood right underneath. All of them. I can assure you of that, Tai. But we're not gonna get into a fight about semantics and assassination and AC shadows. I haven't been playing lots of video games. Had a personal emergency on Friday, and then throughout the weekend had to deal. Well, not deal, but I just couldn't bring myself to play games. So I just binged Reacher season 3. And also I watched the last episode of what's it called? Solo Leveling.
Before you got to Solo Leveling, Reacher,
Yeah,
right? So the main actor,
yeah.
he's been vocal against certain political figures. Are you the kind of person that would refuse to watch a TV show or movie because you don't agree with the politics of the individual?
Fuzzy, welcome in. Says, and more experienced samurai could see you coming. That's different, you know. If the opponent sees you coming and then you get caught, that's fine. But no, you can't train your neck your neck to be harder than other necks. So then a knife that's level 12 won't pierce your neck if it's pointed directly at and thrust with full force and you are unaware. But a knife with that's level 60, that knife will do it. That doesn't make any sense, Fuzzy. None at all. And yes, Vince, one hit or bounce. As for the politics, um, I think like most things, there's context to it. You know what I mean? So first off, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie and be a hypocrite. It does help if I know that the person acting in this specific role has politics that agree with mine. That does, all right. But stick with me here, Tai. If I disagree with their politics, all that's going to happen is that I will give the movie that they're making or the movie that I'm watching less grace. I'm still gonna give it a fair shot. And a good movie is a good movie. It doesn't matter who made it. And a bad movie is also a bad movie. It doesn't matter who made it. I love The Rock, and I love his general outlook on life, and you know, generally I agree with his politics. I don't know what The Rock's politics are. Point is, I love The Rock, but when his movies have been shit, which has been like 90% of his movies recently, I've always called that out. It just is what it is. But I'm sure you were leading me with that question. Go ahead.
Not at all, to be honest. I just wanted to know your thoughts, because Reacher has been saying some things online,
What are
even
his
like
What are his politics? I don't know what his
he's a
politics
left
are.
leaning guy.
Okay.
And so even for example, like the boys, the cast members seem to be like taking shots at like the right wing, the Republicans, and be like, yeah, like these losers that we make fun of in the actual
Yeah.
TV show are based on you losers. And some people are like, yeah, I ain't watching this shit no more. So I just thought it was interesting, like
I think
people are
that's
willing
dumb.
to. Okay.
I think that's dumb. Like me, for example, you say that I'm a right wing. I'm a right winger. That's what you say.
This is true.
Your assessment. Your assessment. My assessment is that I'm a centrist. And as far as someone that's on the left, that's fine. My biggest problem with any of these views is extremism. For me, as soon as you become extreme anything, you're in trouble. It has never worked out for anyone that's ever become extreme something. Extreme left, extreme right, life in general. Anyone that does anything to the extreme, it's not going to work out for you. You need to have balance. So, yeah, that's how I see it. If this guy is a left leaning, that's fine. Now, to tell me he's an extremist, then we might have to have a conversation. But if he just picked a side, that's fine. Good on him. When it's time to vote, let him go vote. Life moves on. Vince says, I'm going to finish Reacher 3 season finale tonight. Finished watching Common Side Effects. which concluded today. You know what, Vince? Now that I finished Reacher 3, I will make time for Severance. Also, Solo Leveling. We had the season finale on Saturday, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself in terms of anime. I don't know. I don't know what my life has in store for me. I'm kind of sad, really down. Anyways, um, there's this little game from Bethesda, Ty. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Doom. You ever heard of a game called Doom?
I've heard of it.
Here and there, right? No biggie.
Not as good as Call of Duty, from what I heard, but
Oh, shut the
I've heard
fuck
it.
up. It's way better than Call of Duty. You know this. Don't be a prick. This guy not as good as Call of Duty. All right, let's get into the news. VGC recently got the chance to go hands on with the Doom: The Dark Ages, and we have brand new gameplay to show. The gameplay, which can be viewed above on our YouTube channels from the game's early open world sections. During a castle siege, the footage is captured from a PC running 4K 60 FPS. Whew. I'd love to get my hand on that one, on that PC. One day, one of these days. Right now, I can only do one of the two, either 4K or 60. Anyways. Oh, sorry, the audio's off. Ty, if at any point you feel like asking me to pause to comment, just holler at me.
Sure. Well, I'm gonna, because I can't see it on my screen, so I'm gonna pop out and I'll pop back in.
You want to pop out and pop in?
One sec.
Okay. Just. All right. I don't know. Is this HD? Looks kind of. Okay, that looks better. Oh man, that is gruesome. That Captain America shield is fucking crazy. Oh, nice. Oh, fudge. Okay. Ah, that was a pretty crappy finisher.
I might be wrong, but it seems like the Doom games have like a theme, right? So this one seems to be constant movement or just constant shooting.
You did what?
I might be wrong, but every Doom will have a theme, but just move like different.
You're muffled. Your microphone is muffled.
Okay, let's see what's wrong here.
All right, that's better.
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like does every Doom game have a theme? So this one is like constant shooting, and the previous one was like platforming, correct?
No. The one. Okay. So essentially, the first one, the theme was constant movement. The second one was constant movement, but platform. This one apparently is going back to constant movement only.
Okay.
Yeah, so the verticality has been toned down a bit. At least that's what I remember from the last interview that they had with the guys from Bethesda. Ron Slasher, welcome in. Dustborn has better. Oh my god. Oh, wow.
Your turret took some damage. Player.
So far, I've seen two takedowns that have underwhelmed. It seems like or maybe it's just the player's choice, but they just bash the dude. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of just smashing, and no like elaborate finishing move. Is that a useless complaint, Ty, or would you agree with me?
No, I haven't really. I want to say useless. Like for example, when I'm playing Assassin's Creed and I'm loving the takedowns, but there's something I've noticed is that is there not more takedowns? Like I want to see six, seven,
Ah,
8. So
there's not
I'm more
much
interested in the
variety.
variety. Yeah, exactly. So there can be normal takedowns, I suppose, as long as they're different. I'm okay.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this. Look at the takedown that he used here. Okay, so there. Okay, wait. Here we go. Here we go. See that? The fuck is that, bro? I'm
Not
not
really
a
a takedown,
bull.
or was that actually just a tackle, like a special
Yeah,
ability?
that's what it looked. That's what I'm saying. It looks like it just rammed into him.
Yeah, but
Very
I think that
underwhelming.
I don't think that's a takedown. Then I think that's probably just a special ability. No,
I still haven't seen a takedown, so hopefully they fix that because that was underwhelming.
I
And
really like the
speaking
freeze beat then.
of underwhelming, welcome in, Oshus. How are you? And what have you been playing?
Yo, I'm good. I'm good, man. Blessed. Happy to be home after a long day's work. What have I been playing? I actually just finished downloading Atom Fall. Over the week.
Siras.
Yeah, like I heard a lot of good things about it. It seems like my sort of game. Something I would be interested in. So I'm definitely giving that a spin. And in terms of what I've been playing, I've been dabbling a little bit here and there. I bought all the Mortal Kombat games, but ultimately, what ended up happening is what's this? Cyberpunk was on sale on Epic Game Store, so I just went and I bought another like Cyberpunk for PC. The cool thing is you can carry over your saves, so I get to do that just with better frame rates. And I think I've said this to Ty as well. Like those games just run so much better, dude. You get so much squeeze out of the lemon when you're doing it, even on an older graphics card like I am. I'm doing this on a 3060 Ti, and it looks fucking 10 times better than what it looks like on my Xbox Series X.
Damn. Really?
Mm. It does, like, because you can now, like, because on Xbox, I'd actually looked up DF Direct or DF
Yeah.
Foundry, and basically they are like the settings are a mix of medium and high with no ray tracing turned on. By default, my Nvidia card runs it at a mixture of ultra and high with some ray tracing stuff turned on, and I get a good 60 to 69 frames per second.
Hmm. That's cute. That's cute.
That's very cute,
I
bro.
just
Very attractive.
I I just remembered what else that's been distracting me from finishing Kazan and Baldur's Gate. I I reinstalled Football Manager, and yeah, 6 hours just flew by me. It happens sometimes. It
Mm.
happens sometimes.
Yeah, man. Like, I just wish I could find, like, I don't know, like, I just don't spend as much time as I would like. I actually, and this is the sad thing about growing old, I suppose. I spend more time just fucking us. Like, I think I sleep more than anything else because I feel so freaking tired all the time. Just more than I actually game or do anything else, bro. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I look forward to is sleep has become the ultimate simulator for me. It's like the
What
best video game is I just want to go fucking home and sleep. Like,
is? I remember running away from these naps when I was younger, when I was a kid.
yeah, and I have to force myself because like I have to like, like because I'm like, nah, I'm definitely gonna do this shit. Like I wanna like, oh yes, and I also even bought like Mass Effect. It was like $99, which is like $1.
Sounds like you
And
spend more time buying games than playing them.
I do like I've worked it out. I probably spent more hours deciding what to buy than
Browsing.
actually.
This guy is browsing Steam and GG.deals.
Would you guys not just get like coffee or some kind of stimulant or whatever to keep you awake?
Well, I again age, bro. Like my problem is like I had like a scare in January where like my heart rate was like 185 to 191 because I had too many energy drinks. So I've completely cut out any sort of anything that has got like guarana or caffeine or anything like that. There,
Mhm.
I've had to cut it from my diet completely because, I don't want to die at like at like Tupac's age, at 39. It's a horrible. That's a horrible, horrible way way to go out
Yeah.
before because that's like I think like yeah that's like the prime age.
Hmm.
Jeez.
But yeah, so I've yeah, so answer your question. So I've laid off completely of stimulants now. I just drink water and like stuff like gym stuff. Like I'll have some glutamine and creatine, that type of stuff.
You mentioned you bought all the Mortal Kombat games again. What's the
Yeah,
thinking behind that?
of
That's a
buying
good
out all the
question.
Mortal
What's the
Kombat.
point?
Yeah, like buying all
What's
these
the
games,
point?
like yeah.
Well, because now I can play them with PC sliders and I can change the graphics, and they cost like nothing. It's like $1 a game or $2 a game. Like they cost nothing, bro.
Yeah, but
Like,
if you've bought one,
yeah,
why do you need to buy all of them?
because I enjoyed them and I would love to play them somewhere else. And I know where Tai is
I,
going with it, but
I'm actually not going
where
anywhere.
where
no,
is
no,
he
no,
going? He's
like,
not.
I
It
know, I
doesn't
know
sound
what
like
this
he's
is
going anywhere
is
with it.
going to play anyway.
No,
So
because I was just thinking more like, so for example, like, I mean, I
yeah,
kind of get it because with Smash Brothers, right? Melee is so different from Brawl and Ultimate, so I could see how some fans want to just play Melee over again. But to me, I just stick with Smash Bros. Ultimate, like the latest one. Like I wouldn't buy Melee again for any reason whatsoever. So I just wondering what the thinking was like, because if you're talking about all the Mortal Kombat games, it's like you buy like all 5 of them or 4 of them. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all.
I bought all of them. Like I like they were like so dirt cheap, bro. Like
But then the
I
question
think
would be like, so like in 1 year's time, like would you see yourself like playing Mortal Kombat 10, 9, 8, etc.?
yeah.
Okay.
You know what the biggest issue I have right now, Tai? Like why I can't just do that like as often as I want
Hmm.
is because of the size of the games. Like I just don't have enough fucking memory. I've got like over two. I think I'm sitting on 3 terabytes. I've got three 1 terabyte SSD hard drives, and I'm already out of space to play like to store
What?
any games.
What are you putting there, Oshas?
Hmm? It's
Three
games like
terabytes, and you're out of
Five.
space.
Forza 5 is like 150 gig.
Do you
What
still
is
play
this?
Forza? Do you still play
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Forza 5, like it's probably my most played racing game. What's the Starfield is 150 gig. Like the fact, like to me, like that's the worst thing I think about these generations. This generation specifically is that the promise was SSD or using SSDs was going to significantly reduce the size of games because now you don't have to make multiple because the whole how they explained it was on a normal hard drive on a mechanical hard drive you have to make several copies like of a certain area simply because of the fact that to minimize loading speeds on ssd you just need one of those assets. You don't need to make multiple of the same asset, but none of them are using any all that bullshit about like velocity architecture. No one is using any of that fucking technology. As a result, we're still getting games at 150 gig. Like that's like to me that's ridiculous.
All right. Oshas, look at the gameplay. I need to engage with the chat a bit. Then we'll come back to
Okay.
Doom.
Oh, is this Eternal? What is this? Is this Doom Dark Ages?
Yeah, it's new gameplay that came out yesterday or the day before yesterday, I think.
I hope
Yeah,
it plays-
Sapo. Ham will be back on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. He will be back. Jojo Gaming, welcome. I didn't like Eternal, and I thought 2014 was mad best. Jeez, okay, not a Doom fan. All right. Yui is inept at ray tracing, terabytes. Exactly. I'm with the Nate. Ushers, the reason why I don't understand what you're going through with space is because I do this. I finish games, uninstall, move on.
My
So
problem is
I
I don't
don't
finish
really.
games like unless
That's the problem.
I
All right.
play multiple. This is my problem. I play like 3 games to 5 games at a time.
When you
Okay.
do that, are those games single player games or multiplayer?
I don't play multiplayer games. I like unless my friends force me to like play like rivals, or like my one friend gifted me Hell Divers, so I have to sort of play it.
I guess for me, because it's like when I'm playing it, like the reason why I'm not playing Xenoblade, right? Not Xenoblade, sorry. The reason why I'm not playing Metaphor right now is because I'm playing Assassin's Creed. I can't have different storylines from different games, in my head. I want to fully immerse myself in Shadows, so I don't want any distractions. Do you not think that's that you miss something? So, for example, if you play
Yeah,
Mass Effect
definitely.
3,
Like
you don't think you're gonna miss something when you start playing The Witcher?
no, like definitely, dude. Like I'm. It's the same reason I probably don't connect with games the way I used to before, because
You can't focus.
my yeah, my attention is divided. But I'll say this. This is what I know about myself. If a game is as good as like Cyberpunk, I only needed to play it the first time for me to say, you know what, okay, this is what I'm gonna be playing for the next 6 months to a year. And I played that almost throughout all of COVID. That's what I was busy with. I've got like over 200 hours in that. Um, if for the one playthrough, just for the one playthrough, mind you. But like my problem is, I just a game has to grip me within the first 5 to 10 hours for me to sort of put that into. It's the same reason I've not fucking touched Valhalla in years. Actually, it's years now, and I'm only like 60%, like I think 40 hours in, and it's 40 hours of like just busy work and not doing anything. So a game has to grip me within the first 5 to 10 hours, let me say, latest. Then
I think that's
I'll
fair.
know if I commit. But if I don't, then you're absolutely right. I lose that immersion of like that's why I don't go back or I don't end up finishing a game is because it doesn't grip me the same way that I would if I was just playing that game. And another thing that factors into that, I'm almost finished. Another thing that factors into that is the fact that when you have games that are available on a conveyor belt, that you didn't pay 1,000 or a $59 or $69 for, right? You tend to
You're
not
about
be
to
as
say 1,000 rand. You're
yeah,
about to say 1,000
right,
rand.
which like is gonna be lost on most people, but like $70.
I got you. Got you.
You don't invest as much time as you would, and that's just my personal. I just find myself I'm not as committed as I was in games. Like if I paid $60 or $70 for a game back in the past, I will fucking finish that motherfucking game. That's I can see that money in my salary. So I will finish that game.
Now,
Now, not so much. I'm not as because now I'm buying everything on a Steam sale. Everything is discounted. It's the same reason I can spend so much on Mortal Kombat, knowing that I'll probably play it once or twice on PC just to test out the settings, and I've already had it, but I can afford it. Does that make sense? It's cheap now. It's
Yeah,
not.
but what about like because I guess what you're alluding to as well is time, right? We don't have enough time to play all these games. There's many good games coming out, which now
hold
you can
on.
say,
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
go
Hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
Guys, I want to give away a game. It's called Darkest Dungeon. I have a
Nice.
code for PC. Anyone in the chat want it? Holla at me on Twitter. The first one in, I'll send you the code. Go
Sweet.
ahead, Ty.
Before you said like, oh, Ty, I know where Ty's going with this, and there was nothing go. I didn't go anywhere. Now you can say, I'm going with this one. Once again, because we have lack of time to do these things, and games are expensive. I could see how somebody who's a big fan of Mortal Kombat, who doesn't have enough time, can say, "Well, I only want to play Scorpion. I don't want to freaking, I want the fatalities now, but I don't have 20 hours, 30 hours to invest in these fatalities." But you know what?
Screw you, Ron Slasher. Screw you.
WB is
Sorry.
telling me straight up that like, yo, you pay us $5, you get these fatalities. Can you see why that person is like, yeah, because time is money. I don't have 20 hours to invest in fatalities.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
Dude,
Ty, that's a
you're
bit
still
different.
here defending your precious monetization in Assassin's Creed.
Listen,
Are you
corporation.
serious?
Listen, I'm a corporate at heart, bro.
Oh my
I was born in
god.
the corporation. I don't know about you
I
guys.
hope they're paying you enough, brother. Jeez.
Like so,
Go ahead.
where I
Go ahead.
disagree with you, that Ty is like it's very simple. Is that I get where you're coming from with that. Like, there's incentive for that. Absolutely, I never disagreed with that. There is incentive for people to do that. But me buying Mortal Kombat again has to do with the fact that I bought it the first time and I got more than my money's worth. I finished it and I loved everything about it. And now I'm buying it because I'm like, I wonder. It's like the thing. There's just this addictive thing about getting older games with new hardware. Like to me, it's so fascinating to play my Xbox games on my PC, and I'm like, wow, I bought a last number Xbox, like at the time the most powerful console, but my graphics card from 2020 still kills everything. Like playing those games with a fresh pair of like eyes because of like how like that's why I'm getting it. It's not because of the fact that I'm trying to save money so that I can still get the fatality without
If it
having
still
to.
works.
Yeah, like I'm doing this because I believe that all those Mortal Kombat games I paid full price when I bought them first time around. They still deserve my money on discount. So if I can get them for $1 each or $2 or three, I will buy them again and again. Same with Mass Effect. I own Mass Effect on every single platform. I will own it wherever. If they play Mass Effect can work on a fridge, I'll buy it on a fridge
Oh my
because of how
lord.
that's the value of that game to me and that experience that it gave me. Same with
So Ty, are you satisfied?
Yeah, no, I'm satisfied with that. Like, I was asking a different question really because I think because you touched on
Mhm.
earlier is time, and I'm saying that like because we recognize time is important and we want to sleep and we don't have time to play as much games as we
We
want
have
to play,
work.
and we have work, we have life to contend with. I can
We have to
see
get laid.
they have to get laid. I can see how that individual right there is saying, like, yo, man, listen, I love fighting games. I love Mortal
One is
Kombat.
getting
I
laid.
don't have time to unlock all these characters. I want to play as Melina right now, but I gotta like play 20 hours first, and I gotta like another 20 hours to unlock her fatalities. I don't have 40 hours to invest in my favorite character. Just give me her now. And I would say you could turn around and say, yeah, WB, just have every character unlocked straight away. But then the question is to the people out there who are investing the time, would they feel some way somehow like, yo, what's going on here? How come he can just press a button and unlock these characters? And would those people be happier if you know what? This guy has to put in 40 hours like me, but if he wants to pay an extra $5, well, go ahead.
I would
Aside
be
from
happier.
blind gamers, sorry, look, go ahead.
No, no, that's what I want to say. Go ahead, Oshis.
No, I was gonna say aside from people that like grinding, which is a very internet slash, it's a very new trend that came with like the likes of Twitch and all that. Who the fuck wants to spend 40 hours in a game to unlock shit? This has never been a trend. It's never worked that way. Back in the day, games were 10. If you're lucky, 20 hours, and you've got the most.
Back in my day.
Like Final
Exactly.
Fantasy was probably one of the longest games out there, but you never had to grind really for anything in Final Fantasy. It's just that the story was very
Metal Gear. Metal Gear was also one of the longest game. It came with 4
Which one?
discs, bro.
Yeah,
The
but like
first one.
Yeah, but the first Metal Gear dude was like what? Like it wasn't more than 10 hours.
Actually, it was.
What was the what's the time? What's the official? I don't think it was more than 10 hours. I finished that game
I'm
multiple
pretty
times
sure.
on
I'm pretty
multiple.
sure it was more than 10
You could rent it
hours.
on a Friday. By the Sunday morning, we're done. We're handing it into the video store. It was
Okay,
a
but finish your point. Finish your
So,
point.
so my point is that like this whole 40-hour notion is made up. The only reason that the 40-hour grind, and I'm just using 40 hours as a rough number, Tai, the only reason that the 40-hour grind exists is because of the fact that that is what they've bloated it to so that they can consume additional time from you. They can make the games less grindy. That's the solution. That is the consumer friendly solution is that
Make it
make
like Doom.
exactly just make it in such a way that if I play either well enough in terms of skill or I follow or I skill and then the other thing would be like maybe I suppose skill is the only main denominator but like
That
even
should
if
be the barrier. You
time to
see,
the
Ty,
story.
Ty, we're going right back to the discussion about Assassin's Creed. Even Assassin's Creed is not even about skill. It's about how many hours are you willing to put into this. That's not
100%.
fun, bro.
It's not
That's not fun.
turn
Make
it
it
to
so
back to
if you're good, you can clock this motherfucker. in 15 hours if you're good. Because you can beat Elden Ring in 6 hours. It
Yeah.
can be done if you're good. Assassin's Creed,
100%.
literally, you can't do it because you haven't spent enough time in this sandbox we've created for you.
100%. I agree.
No,
And that's
so
like,
the disagreement here comes with like, I think I should take Elden Ring is a good example, because it's following a very typical template of games back in those days were like 6 hours, 7 hours.
yeah,
Nobody's buying
10
Elden
hours
Ring.
max.
Nobody's buying Elden Ring to finish in 8 hours. What they want to buy is a huge open world game, and the way Elden Ring entices you to keep playing that game is giving you a variety of enemies to play. Also, it's giving you multiple weapons, different types of weapon strategies with different stats
I
bonuses, so you can feel invested. For example, if you could unlock every weapon in Elden Ring in the first 5 hours, that's useless. Every armor 5 hours, useless. They've
quite
created a way.
literally, quite literally, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Not every weapon, not every armor. No way. To the average, because don't consider
No, are you talking
specialists.
about in the same? Are you talking about in the same gameplay? In the same what's it? The same save file?
No. I'm talking about like when we talk about Ubisoft and say like, oh, you know what? They've created this huge, massive open
No, you
world.
said in Elden Ring, you cannot unlock any weapon you
Everything.
want.
No. I
In
said
no,
everything. Everything.
obviously, right? Now you're talking about collectathon, but you don't play the game. Again, to Ush's point, most people don't play games or never used to back in my day for
Right.
collections. People used to play games to beat games. That's why the main sticking point is how long to beat.
No. What I'm talking about is very different, right? The reason why there's many different weapons in Elden Ring and in
Mm.
Assassin's Creed is because they want to incentivize you to keep playing. They want to make you feel like you're obtaining something new every now and then. What I'm saying is that to Usher's point where he's like, no, back in those days it was 7 hours, 8 hours. Yes, but nobody wants to be able to play a game like Elden Ring and be able to say, yeah, I've obtained every single weapon, every single armor set in 7 hours. That's
Well, the
useless.
difference is, so what you're talking about is you're talking about people that play games like I forgot what we used to call these guys back in the
Well,
day. Like,
I'm talking about RPG games, the
yeah, but
big,
like this
massive
is the
role-playing games
thing
I'm
with
playing right now.
RPG. Yeah, but like I mean, let's go back to the first Mass. What's the shortest Mass Effect game?
Would you say the
Must be the
first
first
one?
one. I
First
think it's the
game. It's
first
about
one.
12 hours.
It
It's a
had some of
good.
the driving
It,
ability
it
sections, though, didn't it?
yeah. It the story wraps up if you're depending upon what difficulty you played and what you decided to do within Mass Effect. 10 to 12 hours, it's done. My best playthroughs or my most enjoyable playthroughs have been about around 20 hours. That's
Mhm.
me now going into Mass Effect and doing every single thing because I'm a Mass Effect stan. But the game itself was such
Yes,
good.
Jacob, I did.
It's literally 10, 12 hours, the game is done. You get everything that Mass Effect has to offer. And if you're happy with your story guy, you're happy with the story, you're happy with the fact that you finished the main objectives and the quests, you're done. You're good. You've had yourself a great sci fi experience.
But
And
if
that
you
is
want to go back and get everything, that's
100%.
another discussion
You can.
altogether.
My problem is that they've built these games with a like the central
Ooh,
experience you
that's a
have
nice
to do.
takedown. Sorry,
I'm,
sorry, Oshis, go ahead.
no, I'm letting you soak it in.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that was a hell of a takedown. God damn, that was nice. Gruesome.
I hope these things can be done easier than on Eternal because Eternal was a bitch. Like I played that game for a couple hours and I was like, "Fuck this." Um, but like my point being, like you got your money's worth if you invested 10 hours. You got your money's worth if you invested 22 hours, because that's where the extra stuff for the guys. What do they call these guys that that want 100% everything? If you're
Completion.
that guy, completionist, yes. If you're a
Yeah,
completionist,
but even at that,
it
right? So the Mass
works.
Effect one, I'm looking at it on Google now. It says the main story takes around 70 to 20 hours, yeah. And then what they've done here is
Eh?
that they said the main story takes 17 to 20 hours.
Oshis is
That's the
losing his
first
mind.
one. And if you
Mass
include
Effect 1
Mass
takes how
Effect
many
1,
hours?
it says if you take
Hey, if we
17
were
to 20
doubting,
hours.
if we're
20
doubting the
hours.
Oshis,
It says 17 to 20 hours.
Nah, my man, those people are playing the game wrong. What were they doing? Like, in no ways, my man, Mass Effect takes 17
Nah, he's
hours.
right. I just checked. It's also 17 hours. You're right. I just checked.
Dude,
On time to
no
beat,
ways.
it's 17 hours.
Asha, you're
I
just a
finished Mass
pro,
Effect
man.
12
You're a
hours.
hardcore
The
gamer,
fuck were
bro.
you doing? Were you skipping the cutscenes and not conversing with people? What the
Well,
hell, bro?
no, my first playthrough, like, first of all, there's planets that you don't have to do, that you can completely skip. They will, but you'll still end up at the main story. Like,
All
there's
right, all right,
objectives.
all right. This is not the Mass Effect podcast. Point is, we prefer shorter,
Shorter
more
games.
focused games. No, no, no,
Mm.
no, no. Shorter and more focused experiences with the option to have more. Jacob Novak, this is me trying to cut it off, bro. This is me trying. Ushers,
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
gameplay that we've been looking at here with Doom. What are your thoughts? Are you
Yeah.
looking forward? Are you gonna buy it day one or?
Unfortunately, it's a Microsoft game, so ain't no ways I'm buying a day anything. Like, I'll just play it on Game Pass. I'll play it on their rental service because that's what they're selling, and I'll have fun with it. Look, I had problems with Eternal because of the fact that I felt that the difficulty was very inconsiderate to people that don't want to fucking Doom everything. Like, the first Doom I felt was more balanced than the second game. I felt the second game was way. The difficulty was way off. So this I'm looking forward to. I want to see, and it looks like the sliders that they've created are actually going to make it more accessible to a guy like me that wants to play Doom for fun and not for difficulty. So everything I've seen so far, man, looks solid. Like, these guys know how to make a solid video game. Everything is based around gameplay. There's no fucking videos here. There's Everything is gameplay. It's either you like the gameplay or you don't. And I love Doom in concept. Even Eternal, I didn't hate it, but I was just bad at it. I just was not good at it, so I stopped playing it because I was like, fuck it.
All right, all right. So I'm guessing you're gonna play it on Xbox instead of PC,
No, I'm going
correct?
to play it on PC, bro. Why would I play it on Xbox? As like that's the
But
sort of
there's
game.
no PC Game Pass in South Africa.
What are you talking about?
There's PC Game Pass in South Africa.
Yes, I have PC Game Pass,
So
dude. Like, that's how I'm playing Starfield.
so how come the on the Xbox app for me it says that this region is not covered? So it's Mozambique that's
It's
not covered.
Mozambique specifically. Like, Microsoft, I'm sure they're the sort of assholes that would do that. Just create a
Jesus.
South African account and then just, yeah. Don't you have, like, I had like a
But
default.
that's where my account is registered, bruv. Because you
Oh,
remember, they don't let you register in countries that they don't have active. I
yeah,
registered in South Africa, and it auto detected my location and was like, "All right, whatever." So
dude.
everything I buy, it's in rands.
But like, that's weird to me. Why you wouldn't like? I'll go as far as saying, if I look at my library right now, a good third of my games that are on my PC are from Game Pass. Like, games like your Forza 5, the reason I'm still playing it on PC is because it's free. I'm not gonna rebuy, like, those games are still expensive on PC. Like, most of my like free library, actually all my free library or my subscribed library on PC is on Game Pass.
All right,
No,
all
you
right.
need to check that out, dude. Like, something is not working correctly for you there. Game
And
Pass is.
I'm still paying the full price for Ultimate.
Yeah, like, that's exactly what I'm paying. I'm on Ultimate. I've got the only game I couldn't find on Game Pass on PC was the original Doom 2016. Wolfenstein 2, I'm playing that for free. Death Stranding, I'm playing that through Game Pass. Resident Evil 2, I'm playing through Game Pass. Um, Batman Gotham Knights, Doom 3, like,
I don't know, man.
I'll go as far as saying half of my games that are on PC that I'm playing right now are on Game Pass PC.
I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe I need to just sell these fucking consoles, bro. I haven't turned on the PS since Shadows came out, and then I played it a bit, turned it off. I haven't played it on PlayStation,
Look,
Xbox.
have you just
It's
thought about
been
creating a new account while using a VPN So you create a new South African account.
I'm surprised it does that to him though. It's so weird.
No, because I looked at it there and it's not official in Mozambique. But what you can do is just create a new
Yeah.
account,
South African
put
account.
it based in South Africa, and there you go. And then just go back to
Yeah.
Mozambique.
Try
But
to
I
like
still want my achievements.
But then I guess the next question would be: can you change your location and tell Microsoft like, oh, by the way, I've
you
moved?
can.
I think you can. If you can, that I think
Yeah,
should be
he
fine.
can. It just takes extra steps, but he can do that.
Say that I changed to my location to go where?
South
South
Africa.
Africa.
It's already in South Africa.
No, no. If it's
What?
okay, this is what you need to do, dude.
Well,
There are these people that are very annoying on the internet. They are called Xbox ambassadors. They are some of the most annoying human beings on the planet. Reach out to one of those guys. They will be able to.
Uh-huh.
If they can't help you, they should be able to refer you to the right person, and then just explain the problem. Because, and there's a lot of ambassadors. There's a dude I know actually that I'll hook you up with. He's from the Xbox community. Glenn. I forgot his name, but like Glenn should be able to help you with that problem if you're in Southern Africa. He's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll think about it. Like
just
half
let
of
me
my
know.
mind
Like
is
I'll actually ask him. Like just give me some more information about your account and like when did you change? Did you change some sort of thing?
I
Like
have never changed anything.
when you log
Are you
in,
sure
you
it's
choose
Mozambique or
Mozambique.
South Africa?
It's South Africa. Because there's no Mozambique when you're setting up your account. Xbox does not recognize Mozambique as an actual country.
Then why would PC Game Pass be blocked then?
That's what's weird because console Game Pass works just fine, but PC Game Pass doesn't.
So what happens when you download the app for PC Game Pass? Because I can share screens of like my PC Game Pass. It works 100%.
All right, we can deal with this after the show.
And
We'll
it
deal
even
with it
gives
after the
me like I still have 3 months that I have not collected. 3 months free Game Pass.
show. All right, we'll check after. We'll check after. Um, Vince says change it to Texas. Problem solved. No need to lie any longer. Yeah, yeah, because everyone knows, right? Everyone knows that I'm in Texas. Sapo says some ambassadors are ponies. They signed up to review Bomb Starfield. Anyways, Tai, as the video went along, we ended up finding out that in fact there are finishers. It's just that you're in more control of said finishers
Okay.
in this specific game. So that's an interesting little wrinkle there. But yeah, what are your thoughts overall from this gameplay?
It looks fun. It looks really fast paced. I think it's it's like game wise, it looks great. I wouldn't purchase it because it's just not my kind of game. But yeah, this 2025 is looking like another good year of games. I don't know. I can't, there's no year. I think in the last 4 years, I can't say, oh, game was bad. Like game industry was bad. I think 2024 is probably the most, but that's because we didn't get any like big AAA blockbuster game. Or at least not
What?
as- just-
Didn't we get Metaphor?
yeah, I guess what I mean is like not as much as the 2023, but like Doom is shaping up well. Assassin's Creed Shadows is good. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 good. Like then we got Clear Obscura coming up. We had Avowed, which is AA. We have Atom Fall, another like AA game that's good.
Yeah.
So far, yeah, things are good.
South
looking
of
good.
Midnight.
South of Midnight, and here's the thing: every single one of those games I mentioned, they're all different. It's not like your typical formula of like run and gun. Like this is the only run and gun game out of those games I mentioned. Monster Hunter World is another game that's really doing well, and it's very different.
Oh yeah,
from
Monster
those
Hunter
games as
World.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
this
number one
looks
selling
fun.
game so far this year.
10 million copies, yeah. I
Capcom
think we spent some time watching that was
making that money.
save them. That is save Capcom from bankruptcy.
All right, that was actually the next topic. So let me leave the gameplay up on the screen. I'm just gonna mute it here, and I'll read the topic here for everyone, so you guys can hear Look, imagine you're going to the location what's it? Xbox's summer showcase is, and you say hi to Phil, and Phil asks you, "Who are you?" Because Xbox doesn't recognize Africa.
They
Jacob,
don't. Fuck them.
Jacob, you're in timeout. You're in timeout, Jacob. Stop it. Stop it. Oh
Jacob
my
is not
god.
out of line. He's 100% right. Like I feel like
Listen, at least you have PC Game Pass. But we'll see. Maybe something's wrong on my end. Maybe something's wrong on my
no,
end.
I think you should really
Anyways,
just look to support, bro. Like I think it's a region related problem to the fact that you are in Mozambique physically now, and it probably detects
yeah,
that and it's fucking you
yeah.
based on that.
Lots of jabbing, Ushers. No consent, no lube, no
Yeah,
nothing, bro.
nothing.
Anyways,
It's raw dogging you. Must I put it like that?
bruh, bruh.
I would I mean we can talk about it after, but you could try one of those free VPNs as well.
I don't want to use VPNs.
Mm.
Welcome in, Slycrow.
It doesn't
Monster
make me
Hunter
so
Wild.
fuck.
Monster Hunter Wild smashes past 10 million copies sold. Copies, not players. Copies sold.
Don't say that to
The
Ty, bro.
game,
He's feeling.
the what? What?
No, nothing. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
The game, which was released in February, already broke a Capcom record by flying past 8 million copies sold in its opening week. Jesus, is now closing in on half of Monster Hunter World's lifetime sales. Currently, Monster Hunter World is Capcom's best-selling game ever, around 22 million units, but Monster Hunter Wilds is well on its way to matching it. The announcement means that Monster Hunter Wilds is now the sixth best-selling Capcom game ever, setting. Oh my God, sitting. Does no one edit these articles? Sitting just behind Resident Evil Village. Monday's announcement also reaffirmed that the game's second title update is scheduled for this summer, though no specific release date was given. The game's first free title update will be released later this week. The free update will be available on April 3rd and will add a new monster and new hunts, as well as a new grand hub area. The update will add Mizutsu. Kozi said this like she's like Japanese. I think she said something like Mizutsune, a fan favorite monster. This Leviathan was first introduced in 3DS game Monster Hunter in the 3D. Oh my god, the editing. I don't know what's going on, bro. In the 3DS game Monster Hunter Generations and returned in Monster Hunter Rise. The update will also add an event quest coming at a later date in which players with a hunter rank of 50 or more can take on an arch-tempered Ray Dao,
Mhm.
unlocking the player new equipment if they can defeat it. So yeah, that's Monster Hunter Wilds breaking records in terms of speed that they've sold 10 million uh, copies. Tai, what are your thoughts?
Very impressive to be honest. But I just need to do something real quick for like 2 minutes. So can you ask Ushers?
All right. Let me go to the comment section first. Vince, yes, no consent, but I paid. You know what? I guess they're raw dogging with consent. I guess they are. Sly Coral defends Ubisoft says Capcom has no service. Ubisoft does. Sapo, I do VPN come in clutch sometimes. Oh, okay. Uh, Vincent Vega has an Indian VPN. VPN. Jesus, that pays $2 a month for Game Pass Ultimate. That's wild. That is wild, Vince. Ushers, what are your thoughts on Monster Hunter Wild surpassing 10 million copies?
Now hold on a damn minute there, Lauk. You saying that developers can make games and sell them and make money from selling games? Ain't no Don, ain't no Don way in the West you can do that. You telling
Oh
me
my god,
you can offer people a product and sell it and they buy?
that accent is terrible.
Ain't no
Jesus.
damn way. Yeah, that's my Cajun accent. So my thing is that like, bro, like Capcom is like proving the one thing that we've been saying. Like if you make it and it's good, people will come and they will buy it. Whereas
Yes.
another guy who often plays the flute in front of a bunch of rats, which are code for Xbox fans, like will tell you,
Wow.
well, no, we measure players because I don't know, like because what, like our console cannot sell we can't actually sell a product to consumers, which is what we're supposed to be doing. Like to me, Capcom and companies like Capcom are proving this whole notion that everything has to be either player based. In other words, we're not measuring how much we've sold, we're measuring in terms of like the player numbers because we're looking at longevity. All these abstract things that mean nothing to the gaming industry in the short term are what everyone is now jumping on and trying to measure. How about just saying, well, this amount of people actually liked our game enough to actually spend $70 and buy it? It's that simple. It's not a hard gig, and I respect what Capcom is doing because again, I hate Like I think Capcom is one of the most aggressive people when it comes to microtransactions. But at the same time, they still make a good product, a $60 product that you can buy out the gate, and you could be happy with your $60 product. Sorry, purchase. That's it. What happened to that? Just sell me a $60 product. If I like it, great, I'll buy your next product. If I don't, then I won't support you anymore.
Yeah, but that's what everyone does, though. You know, EA does that, Capcom does that, Sega does that. But some of the games that they do have these shops. Now, the funny thing about Monster Hunter Wilds is, Tony's one of my good friends, and he's been playing Monster Hunter since it came out on the PSP.
Yeah.
And when he this is the only game he was looking forward to. He didn't buy Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because of this game, but he hasn't purchased the game. The reason why he hasn't purchased the game is because he's quite worried, apart from the PC technical issues, that
Mm-hmm.
the game is actually being casualized. They've made the game very easy. Collecting is easy.
Ooh.
Fighting bosses is easy. If you
Mm-hmm.
listen to Jez, he's a huge Monster Hunter fan as well, and he was reviewing it, and he said they've dumbed it down. He's like the game, like he's like Monster Hunter games are games that people play for months, fans play for months. He's like, I was done in a couple of days because there was no incentive to try different weapons. This game lives of you trying different weapons and fighting different bosses. All the bosses are easy, and all the weapons. There's no need to use different weapons. Now, Capcom
Yeah.
has said, "Oh, we're gonna patch it to make it harder for you guys," but it's I think it's quite funny and probably you know proves a point here that the best-selling Monster Hunter game, Capcom's best-selling game, is when they took the hardcore version and dumbed it down for the casuals.
Well, my thing is like whether you dumb it down or not. Like I mean, like they did that with Mass Effect as well. Like I mean, by the time you get to Mass Effect 3, the gameplay has been so streamlined to be more accessible to people that play Call of Duty versus the first game, which was being made for people that played more traditional, role playing games.
RPGs.
RPGs, yeah. So like that's a natural progression of you thinking you can grow your market. Now, how like for instance, FromSoft did it was they struck a better balance than I think anyone else. But the bottom line is like my whole point, Ty, is that like they're still trying to sell you a core experience, not a live service. And I just feel that like the moment the whole thing revolves around me trying to sell you revolving services versus me selling you a complete product for $60, that's the problem. That's the issue. And I feel that Capcom, and again, as far as and if you look at their surveys, as far as the market is concerned, what I mean by the market is the gamers are concerned, they're still giving people $60 products that people feel are worth $60, and they don't have to buy all the other bullshit.
But I don't know which entity
Yes,
is
Matt,
keep
there is
selling.
new Doom gameplay. Lots of executions. This is actually coming directly from VGC. if you wanna go watch there, but you can also watch here as well.
But you see, like, like for example, I think your best example here would be maybe a game like Suicide Squad, right? Where you feel like, well, that game isn't worth $70 and it has a
No.
live service, But like those games can exist, but most studios, most game companies, when they charge you $60 for their game and they have a storefront, I mean, they are giving you a game that's probably worth $60 or $70, right?
No,
Is
it-
Assassin's Creed Shadows worth $70?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. If that's how you
Well, I
feel,
mean, I mean, well, see, that's quite
guys,
subjective.
guys,
But like,
guys, we're not
full
gonna have
price
a
game.
perpetual back and forth on this one.
Hmm.
no, we have
We
to
don't agree. Like you asked a pointed question, Ashes.
yeah.
We clearly we disagree. Like, and this
Look,
one's this is one
no,
that
I
me
don't
and
think.
you agree on.
Yeah. No, but I think
Because
like
I don't
Assassin's
think
Creed
it's
Shadows.
worth $70.
I think it is worth $70, but the problem with it is that like over and above that $70, they then decided that, well, you know what, we've got a product that is $70 that is self-contained, but we can also charge 150 to 200
And by
to
doing
500 bucks.
that all those other extras in that game, by wanting to charge me for all of that,
Yeah.
guess what? It's not worth $70 anymore. If everything came all inclusive, we can have a conversation. For
Yeah.
example, Doom, the first Doom, in my opinion, that was worth $60. No problem, without even flinching. Doom Eternal, same. To my knowledge, there's no in-game campaign stuff that you can buy in Doom Eternal or the first one.
No.
I'm assuming the same thing's going to happen with this one. So for me, as soon as you start charging me money beyond the core experience, we already have a problem. I don't care if it's optional. I don't care if it's optional because what Osher says, I make fun of him. I make fun of him about back in my day, waving my fist to the sky. I make fun of him, but I genuinely believe it as well. And I will act on it. And I won't buy your game because I feel like if I'm going to pay $60, if I'm going to pay $70, I want the whole game. Now, if you're going to partition it off so the game it's really with everything all inclusive, it's now 120. I then buy them. Yes, Matt says there's only one version of Shadows. Oh, never mind, lol. Digital Deluxe. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, the Digital Deluxe, that's the real game, Matt. That was the $60 game that we bought in 2006.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the gameplay up. Maybe the whole show. I don't know. Maybe if you guys get
No,
tired of it.
this is my thing. Like, I love, like, to me, whenever you're showing off a game, this is what I want to see. And, like, I don't care
Gameplay.
what the genre is. Yeah, it's gameplay. Like, because this is what I'm going to be experiencing. Like, your movie, like, you're going to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes of my time showing me a movie that I'm going to see once, if it is part of your game. Because a lot of these CG movies are not even in the game most of the time anyway anymore. But, like, this to me is more meaningful in terms of you showing off something that you want to sell me versus you showing me some fancy CG that I might or might not care about.
Yeah, yeah. Vincent Vega says save a ton of money by being a patient gamer. I would say, Vince, it's not even about being a patient gamer. I disagree. I think you save excuse me, you save a ton of money by being a discerning gamer because you can be patient, but also still waste money buying games that aren't worth your money or your time. So Suicide Squad, even if you gifted me that game, Oshes,
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a waste of my time as a gamer, as a human being on this planet, actually, to install that motherfucker and then invest even an hour of my time. That's how I feel about Suicide Squad, right? Just me personally. So yeah, it's not just about money. It's about time as well. We don't get no refunds in this motherfucker. Oshis needs to sleep. Moving on to the next story. Take Two CEO explains why GTA 6 still doesn't have a release date. This is coming from VGC, but I'm just going to read the quotes. The anticipation. Who was this? Okay, speaking to Bloomberg in a newly published interview, Strauss Zelnick said the Rockstar Games parent wanted to maintain the anticipation of GTA 6, which he claimed was greater than from any release in history. All right, before we get into the quotes, Ty, do you agree that GTA 6 is probably the most anticipated game release of all time? Can you think
GTA
of a
6
game?
is the most anticipated entertainment product of all time.
Damn!
Has to be.
I
There's
don't
no
know, man.
Avengers, there's no Avatar, there's no album, there's nothing that compares to GTA. It will break records all over again.
What? Entertainment property. All
Yeah.
right.
If like
Ah,
listen, we say if you're in
Star
the
Wars.
gaming, if you're in, nah, there's no Star Wars movie, Star Wars TV show, Star Wars video game. There's no Star Wars anything that would ever compare to GTA.
What?
No Harry
Ushers.
Potter, no nothing.
Ushers. I can't think of anything right now, but Ushers, there's there's no way he's right. Right?
He's 100% spot on, bro. Like, there is no brand in entertainment that's bigger than GTA, period. Name it. Like, give me an example of a brand that is bigger than GTA in like, not in gaming, sorry, in entertainment. Like, what brand makes the first day, the first couple of hours, like 500 million? Like, just like this. Like, and then I'm quoting numbers from probably 2013, but like, GTA is like every single company that makes entertainment, including the likes of Netflix, wishes they had a GTA. Just one GTA, because that would be able to carry the entire company, the entire organization. It's the same reason GTA only comes along every 10 years or every 13 years, because they can afford to do that. They don't need to be a Call of Duty, because and the thing that Rockstar gets so right, to me, like, and even though I'm not a guy that likes, like, I used to be into crime games when I was younger, but not anymore. It's not really my genre of choice right now. But I'll tell you this: whenever they put out one of those games, you know you're going to experience something that you've never experienced in gaming, in entertainment, in anything. The only thing that comes close to that is even, maybe in my opinion, is somewhat better in terms of writing, is probably Red Dead Redemption 2. So there is Rockstar, and like, they are the game. When we talk about games, Rockstar is like the MVP of the MVP. Like, they are like, who's the guy with all the rings? Not
Jordan.
Thanos. No, the other guy, the one that has all the football rings, the
Oh,
white
the
dude.
football rings. Oh, Tom Brady.
Yes, they are the Tom Brady of fucking. And
Come on, bro.
I'm putting it out there because I don't know much about football, but like, that's how that's what GTA
American
is.
football.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not real
We have some
football.
suggestions. We have some suggestions in chat. The Sly Crow says Mario Kart.
No,
Big Mad Mo
No,
says
no,
Minecraft.
no.
no,
Those games
no,
cost like 5 million to make. Like, those are like
no. I'm not
crappy
even.
North
No, we're not talking about
Korean
cost. We're not
games.
talking about cost. We're talking about people freaking out about said game and also the amount
Yeah.
of people that will buy and interact with it. Also, Matt and Vince agree with you, Ty and Oshis. So you guys think Minecraft and Mario Kart now?
What the fuck? Like, Minecraft. Like, I don't even know who the fucking guy that is the main guy in Minecraft. I don't. What is he? What does he do? I don't even know what
Dude,
Minecraft is.
wait. You not knowing something does not diminish it.
In where I'm coming from, and in this example I'm giving you, it does, because everybody knows what GTA is. It's that crime game. It's that crime game that Elon is
No,
scared to
so
play
from a
because
sales
he doesn't want to
perspective,
break
right?
the law.
From a sales perspective,
All right. So
Minecraft
in
has more
terms of
sales than
sales,
GTA.
okay then.
Yeah, but
All right then.
you see, I'm not even looking at that because I don't think that's even that relevant.
No, we're
GTA,
not. We're not talking about sales.
yeah, GTA 5 broke the first day. It broke the
Real football. Get out of here, man.
it broke the revenue for the I think the first I think revenue
Yeah, yeah,
generated the
yeah.
first day.
IP. I
Yeah,
no,
entertainment
okay. I
products,
don't know
right?
about first day. I don't know first day, but overall, there's
They
no
broke all the
IP.
records. Let's just
Yeah,
say
there's no
that.
IP that's made more money than there's no single IP that's made more money than GTA.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
GTA 5 is sitting at 150 million sales of just one game. Like, it's to me, the one thing that fascinates me about GTA is that it's the sort of game that if it was just a multiplayer only game and you just had GTA Online, I would not be interested in it at all. But for some
Ever
reason,
that
Rock,
campaign, bro.
yeah, Rockstar gives
That
you the best
campaign.
campaign. Like, it's not a matter of like production values. You feel like
Oh
you're
fuck.
playing. If you like Martin Scorsese, you like whatever you like in that genre, you feel like you're playing it. I felt that way when I was playing San Andreas. I felt that way when I was playing GTA
Is
5.
San Andreas on PC?
Yeah, it's on PC.
Ah fuck. Now I have to go and buy all the GTA games again. God damn it.
In fact, I felt that way when I was playing what is it, Vice City. Like back in the day with those crappy PS2 graphics, it still felt the next level.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
It was special.
I'm not a GTA fan, but I will tell you that GTA shits on GTA when GTA is releasing. Take your shit, put it 5 years back, because you're not gonna make money that month. No one gives a fuck what you're doing.
Even like if your product is like music or even like a movie, just move it away. And you might say there's no connection, but there
What?
is because the
Yes,
kids, the
absolutely.
teenagers, they're gonna want to be talking about GTA.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
if we're looking at it from even a social perspective, right? You want your movie to be talked about online, in Twitter, on Facebook, wherever it is, on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
You want these
But
YouTubers to be talking about your product. They ain't gonna talk about your product if GTA is around.
no one's gonna be talking about that. Dude, when GTA comes out, I fear for the Twitter streets, bro. Like if you don't like spoilers, don't go on Twitter. Because that's all people are just gonna be sharing. That campaign, all the wild scenes. Remember when GTA 5 came out, everyone was just sharing the torture scene. And just thinking about it, I'm like, all right, clearly I need to rebuy this motherfucker again. You know what? I think we've beat this dead horse. I think we can all agree GTA 5, yes, it is probably the biggest source of entertainment on the planet. And that's wild. That's wild to me at least. Big Mad Mo says GTA is shit. All right, hey man, not every game's for everyone, and that's fine. Dayreezy, welcome in. Hope you're doing good. What you been playing, Dayreezy? Wow! Big Mad Mo says, fuck GTA. Okay, okay. Got it. Got it. Dayreezy says, you're going to buy them, love them, and take them, Loke. Pause. That I will, Reezy. That I will. Anyways, Matt says, Uh, it's free when you own GTA 5 on PC. Comes with full RT. Okay, all right, all right. Okay, let's get back to the article because clearly GTA is definitely the biggest thing coming out. Fuzzy still hasn't bought GTA 5. Come on, Fuzzy. All right. Here we go. The anticipation for that title may be the greatest anticipation I've ever seen for an entertainment property, and I've been around the block a few times. And I've been in every entertainment business there is, he said. And we want to maintain the anticipation and the excitement. We do have competitors who will describe their release schedule for years in advance, and we found that the better thing to do is to provide marketing materials relatively close to the release window in order to create that excitement on the one hand and balance the excitement with unmet anticipation. We don't always get it exactly right, but that's what we're trying to do. GTA 6 is officially due to release this fall, and although it still does not have a confirmed release date, parent company Take Two recently claimed that GTA 6's release date is on track. Here's another quote from that interview. Rockstar Games always suck a lot of money and, more importantly, time out of the market, reportedly said the boss of one of the world's biggest game publishers. We don't want to be anywhere near that. We're working up multiple different plans for our title. Another senior exec is said to have added, even GTA, sorry, even without GTA, it's immensely difficult to find free time for new games to shine. Time is the real scarcity for us, not money. It's tough out there. Yeah, so there you go. So even without GTA, people are moving their games around. Now with GTA in the mix, can we now maybe have some grace for the remainder of the year? Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as far as game releases after July, it's super dry. There's like one or two games that is like officially coming out after July. Thoughts?
I would say hold on to that because it might sound. I think Xbox might drop more things after July that they're just kind of keeping quiet for some reason. There is the rumors that Gears of War, D-Day could drop, maybe not. We know Fable's been delayed, but I think we got also not Avowed 2, but what's the other one called? The Obsidian game, Outer Planets 2. Like, is that confirmed for before July?
Outer Planet or Outer World?
Outer Worlds 2. Sorry, my bad.
Let
It
me
could be
check.
after, but I think my main point is like expect some games. But even Ghost of Yote, is that July as well? After July?
Oh, it's too.
You're not getting anything from Sony this year, bruv. Forget it.
No,
No,
I think
Ghost of Utah is coming out this
yeah, they
year.
reaffirmed that it's
Okay,
coming this
Outer
year.
Worlds 2 is December
Oh,
31st,
they confirmed.
2025.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Outer Worlds 2 is is December 31st. Like they're way out of GTA's window. But let's see here. Ghost of Yote
still
release
slated for
date.
2025.
December what? Also December 31st. What the fuck?
No, dude, like that game is not coming out. I'm telling you, you're not getting anything from Sony this year. Sony has
We're getting Death Stranding. Settle down. We're getting Death Stranding.
that's from Kojima-san. That's not from Sony.
Okay, where
They
else can you
published it.
play Death Stranding too?
No, yeah, of course, just like Stellar Blade,
All
but it's
right
not
then.
first
All
party.
right then.
But
All
also,
right then.
for Ghost of Yote, I know they updated their website, and I think they reconfirmed that, like, yeah, 2025 is coming. And
I don't think so.
I
Like,
would say
I'm
this. I would
sorry.
say this. So Sony is very, very specific with these things. Like they're not like Xbox. They don't mess around with these kind of dates. If Sony says like think about it, God
Oh,
of War
okay.
and Spider Man 2.
Sorry, Ty. Quick point of correction.
Mhm.
Those are placeholders. Thanks, Chet. Thank you for keeping me honest. Those are placeholders. The dates I
Yeah,
just gave you,
Mhm.
those are placeholders. Those are not
yeah.
the official dates.
Mhm.
Whenever something says December 31st, I know it's bullshit. Like, there's no way that game is gonna meet that release date
All right.
unless everything that is supposed to go well
So
goes
you're
well.
saying Outer Worlds 2 is also not coming out this year?
What is that? Like, is that a Microsoft game?
It's an
Obsidian.
Obsidian game.
Which is a Microsoft studio,
Oh,
right?
dude, what's your problem with Xbox, bro?
So it's
What's your problem?
you're probably gonna get it in 2027.
Okay. Yeah. Listen,
Right,
don't
Ty,
take this
Ty,
conspiracy.
just
I'll
finish your
say,
point.
yeah,
Just finish
like
your point, Ty.
yeah, the team reconfirmed that like yeah, it's coming out this year. So I don't think Sony messes around like that. They're not gonna say something's coming out because if you think
No,
about it, right, everyone was saying the same thing. Why haven't you announced the release date for Spider-Man 2? It's like it's
no.
supposed to come out. Why have you announced the release date for God of War and Horizon? But the difference is Sony makes sure that like when you say this release date is coming. So the fact that they said 2025 last year and then they're saying it again
Yeah,
this year, I'm more confident about that than anything else because they don't have to say it. Like they just kept quiet. Like why
yeah. No,
why
they
would you
don't.
reconfirm it a few days ago saying yeah it's 2025?
Let's hope so. Like, because I just feel that they're in a very interesting position. I've not seen Sony in this position in a long time. It's weird that Sony is actually there. Sony is actually beating themselves more than anyone is actually taking out Sony. Like it's not a matter of like they're scared of competition or whatever. It's a matter of their own incompetence is what's fucking them up. So I
Also,
hope they deliver.
keep in mind, they told their shareholders that like, yeah, 2024 we ain't dropping nothing. 2025 they expect something, and they were very specific on that. They were like, yeah, we ain't dropping nothing.
Yeah,
2024, 2025 though, that's when the games are coming out. So yeah, I think everyone expects Ghost of Yota to come out this year.
I hope
Um,
so. I hope so because they need that. They need something that's going to sort of like get there. Again, I don't
Fan base up.
actually, but actually they don't need anything. Like PlayStation fans will buy whatever Sony makes anyway. So, but in terms of as a gamer, I think it will add to the conversation to have that out.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I think the interesting thing is, at least from a cultural point of view, is just how it's received. I know it's going to do well, and I think people are going to enjoy the game, and the fans are going to like it. But how it's received from a cultural point of view, are they going to say she's a woman? Are they going to say she shouldn't be able to use a sword because she's a woman? Blah blah blah, all these things. And is it going to be like pushback in the same way Assassin's Creed Shadows has done, where it's doing well and it's kind of messed the narrative for these guys?
All right. I'm sure she can swing a sword. We have to beat the game somewhere. We have to beat it some way, guys. She can't
Listen, I'm
use.
not gonna lie. Yeah, I was talking to one of these dudes. Yeah, and he was literally like, "Women should do more seductive acts because they're not as strong as men. So like ninjas and spies, like to make these kind of games, they should be able to seduce." I was like, "Man, like, what are you talking about? Like these people, they have the most unhinged takes ever."
But again, like
I,
that take is unhinged because of where you're coming from. You're coming from a perspective to say, well, that is so sexist. That's a very modern way to look at it. But if you
No,
look at
no,
it
no, not at
historically,
all. It's more
female
to do.
assassins have always used
Mhm.
seduction. I get what he's saying, but he's just probably saying it very poorly. He's basically
No,
saying there
no,
should be more black widows and less shinobi. That's
no,
basically what he's saying.
what he's saying is that like someone like a Nawe shouldn't exist, or even someone like this character shouldn't exist. He's saying that like they can exist in the realm that I deem appropriate,
who said
which is
this?
the guy I was talking to, one of these anti woke guys, and he in his mind, even like superheroes, he's like, yeah, like superhero females, they should use more of their sexiness to get the
That's
job done.
stupid.
I was like, that's so stupid, man.
Supergirl needs to be okay. You know what? End of discussion. We're not going to do this. We're not going to waste our neurons on this. All right.
Sorry, wait, just a quick one. There was something I read a while ago that I think was interesting, right?
What?
And it might have actually
Well,
changed the way we see some games. I think it was Street Fighter. The creator was saying that when he was making the game,
who was
uh,
in the kitchen just now? That's a good question, Vince. Who was in the kitchen just now? Was it you, Oshus, or Ty? Who was in the kitchen?
It was me. I'm making hot dogs, man.
All right.
You
Vince
guys,
says
you guys heard the
enjoy
grill.
your food.
You guys
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
the
You're
grill.
very
Right?
noisy. You are very
Sorry.
noisy.
yeah, so the
My
creator
hot
said
dogs.
this, yeah, and I'll get you guys' take on this. He said that like they considered making this was in Street Fighter, the women weaker in the game, and so
Okay.
the punches and kicks they're not as effective, but they
Okay.
have maybe more health and they're faster. So he wanted to differentiate the characters based on gender, and then ultimately they're
No,
like,
no.
nah, let's just make it neutral.
I,
That
I
makes
I I would
sense.
be okay with that. I would be okay with
Yeah.
making make the female characters faster, but uh also the hits don't hit as much. Make the guys slower and their punches hit harder. I'm okay with that.
I
So
think the problem there
we're
is
trying to make it unrealistic, basically.
yeah, that would be unrealistic because men are faster and stronger.
Yeah. Well, like you'll still get your ass handed to you if you're
Fuck.
whether you're Chang Li or not. If Zangief takes a fist to your face, you are.
Dude, if Zangief bear hugs you. Like forget
Yeah.
fist, dude. If Zangief bear hugs you on like on your arms and just
Yeah.
squeezes. Have Tyre, do you know the size? Have you seen? Do you know who Zangief is?
Yeah, I know.
If that dude gets a hold of a man and gives you a bear hug,
It's
you
over.
might pass out
Hmm.
just from a bear hug. So you know what? I think the right decision was just leave it as is. If you try and make it if you try and make it
Yeah.
too
No, it's fine.
realistic, it can get out of hand in trying to balance, everyone's speed and everyone's strength and whatever, and then it won't be fun. It won't be
No, it
just
won't be.
just
Yeah, I
mindless
think
fun.
women wouldn't really exist then. They won't really be used because they'll be weaker, even on health. Like, why would they have more health? Because a punch
Fuck,
would just
bro.
take them
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Does your girlfriend have more health than you?
I mean, if she
Oh
gets
my
punched by
god.
someone
All
like
right,
me, yeah.
all right. Oh yes, yes, Front Slasher, yes, Zangief OnlyFans. I'm paying the $10. I'm paying
Uh,
the ten
uh,
bucks for
uh.
Zangief's OnlyFans. I don't give a fuck. I'm
What the
paying.
fuck? What Russian shit do you want to see, bro? Like, like,
There's a bear
uh,
somewhere there. There's a
oh
bear
god,
involved there.
this
All right, all right,
conversation
all
is
right.
over.
No, okay, fine. Let's do a very quick sidebar, guys. 5 minutes. I'm actually turning on the timer right now. 5 minutes, fellas. Why, why is it that we all assume OnlyFans is only the saucy stuff? I happen to know of people that have OnlyFans, but it's not saucy. They use it like a Patreon. There's people that use OnlyFans as a Patreon, where they go on there and they talk about video games or talk about whatever other stuff. At least that's what they used to do before the site got taken over by, like, 90% of it is now the saucy stuff.
I would just say it's perception. In the same way how, like, if I mention Discord, it's for everybody, right? But everyone just assumes
Yeah,
gaming.
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. There's some people that can use Discord for work as well. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Reezy says, I think a Kojima only fan would appeal to Loke more. You know me so well, dear Reezy. You know me
So look,
so well.
I use the corner like I forgot what that street is called. Here in Joburg, I use that to take a turn to come home, but
Okay?
I can also use that for other things, right?
Okay?
And that's probably what if I decide to Oxford Road. If I want to take Oxford Road, ne?
I, I,
It's
I, I don't know anything about Oxford Road. I've never heard of it.
well, it has before OnlyFans. Let me paint the picture.
Yeah,
Before
yeah, I know.
OnlyFans,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
That
So
was the real
that is
thing.
so if you go around Oxford Road, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows what you're there for. That's not the quickest way to get home, FYI. Like you, but there are some
Oh,
experiences there
man.
that you'll probably
Yeah.
run into that your wife doesn't want to know about. That's exactly the same thing with
Hey,
OnlyFans.
man, speak for yourself. Some people's wives
It was
like that stuff.
it was a road that was made for you to go home, but now there's takeaway places
Yeah,
for other
yeah.
takeaways. But that's my point. Is that that's what happened with OnlyFans. I get it. Eventually, like initially, it was for celebrities to sort of like put their stuff behind paywalls for exercise programs
Yeah.
and whatever. Well, what
Or just
is
chatting. Or just chatting.
100? Well, yeah, all that stuff that no one cares about. Everyone wants just to get laid, man.
Slasher
If
wants to know how
people
to get to Oxford Road. Ron, talk to Oshus. He'll take you
come to
there.
Joburg, I'll sort you out, Slasher.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
look. There's better places, but it will get the job done.
Reezy, she has the biscuits, the scones, like the crackers. She has everything back there. Jeez. Anyways, moving on. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this last week there was a Studio Ghibli AI trend that sparked ChatGPT backlash, and we got old comments from Hayao Miyazaki and even Zelda Williams. So before we get into it, Ty, did you see it, and what were your thoughts on it?
I actually didn't see it, but I know something happened with AI because there's a lot of chat about it. But I didn't know I don't know where the source came from. So if you can educate me, that would be great.
All right, Dare Easy, screw you. Pax is the one. She is the one. All right. I'm not even having a discussion about this. Essentially, do you know what Studio Ghibli is, Ty?
Is this the animation that's showing up everywhere because
Yeah,
everyone is using the AI
yeah,
to make Studio Ghibli animation?
mm,
Oh, okay, I get it.
yeah,
And it's such a non-factor.
yeah.
It's a non-nothing.
It's a nothing. Okay. Ty, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, so Studio Ghibli, right, is essentially right, it's in the name, a animation studio that is world famous for a specific style of animation that they make. that it seems like only they can do it because others have tried, but they haven't been successful in replicating it, right? So essentially, what happened was AI can now replicate images of
Mm.
that specific art style. Someone figured it out, or the AI figured it out. Like we don't have to get too deep into it. Point is, it's a thing, and people had access to it, and a lot of artists have been losing their minds over it.
Mm.
I'm gonna try and look it up while Oshis is giving his take here. Oshis, go ahead and tell us what you think about this. And did you see the images?
I mean, like it's so easy to generate those images from Mid Journey, and I think a lot of it is coming from Mid Journey because Mid Journey
Yeah.
can now allow you to sort of select styles. So you can literally choose the almost exactly the sort of the type of animation style that you want for your art that you're about to generate.
Yeah.
And that's why I think everyone can do anything with it, and it's great. And I always say this to people that like, are like, oh, artists are gonna run out of business. Artists are gonna, and I'm like, okay, cool. Number one, back in the day, someone used to operate the lift, right? Someone used to press the no, but like someone
Oh
used to
my
press the
God.
button for the lift to go up and down. That was an elevator operator. That person got a salary. They got a remuneration for doing a skill that was rare at the time.
Yeah,
And then I go as far as saying, at some point in time, cars were handmade. People actually put the car together. There was no conveyor belts.
that is true.
And my thing is that there's a little bit of entitlement there because, again, if we want to bring it even closer, once upon a time, artists who are musicians used to print CDs where they had their shit on the CD, but now it's anyone can make music because you don't need a studio deal anymore because you can just record it, put it on the internet.
Yeah,
So my point here that I'm driving home is that this was inevitable. You can complain, you can, this is what Thanos says, run from it, hide, cry, destiny still arrives. This was always going to happen. You have more people that are more prominent than animators losing their jobs. You have analysts who used to spend weeks analyzing a whole bunch of data. That shit can now
data.
be done.
Yeah,
Yeah. Data that could
in
change people's
seconds.
lives. And AI can do that in seconds, bro. These are people that used to go to university for 5 to 10 years to become analysts, actuaries, or whatever. A fucking computer can do that now with a prompt. So, what makes you as an artist that important that you feel that everything that's happening to anyone else is not confounded or is just, you are just the ones being victimized? As if this has not been happening for centuries, not even decades, centuries.
So, Ty, as you can see on the screen, that is Studio Ghibli
Mhm.
style art. That's the style, and from this content creator's example on the screen, you can see what's being done. So, what are your thoughts on that? And also, what Oshis just said about the elimination of people from certain professions.
Um, from a jobs perspective, I think I'm in 100% agreement with Ushers. It's just gonna come. It arrives. Same thing for cars. Same thing for even like listen. You could even look at cleaners to an extent, right? As soon as you have all these robot cleaners or vacuums or whatever, it takes people's jobs. Technology always kind of does this, so it is what it is. I think the part that people get
Washing
really
machines as well.
washing machines. The part people get upset with or uptight with, and this is entitlement, as Usher said, but it comes with the artistic side of things, right? If you ask somebody like what separates us from other animals, there's almost this idea of like we have reached a higher dimension where we can self-reflect and create artwork. We can create and appreciate these things, such as you know. Drawings, painting, movies. We write stories about ourselves, and that's what for many of these people defines us as human beings, that we have this creative element to it. Um, the problem now becomes when you take that away, it's like you're taking a part of humanity away, especially when AI can do it better and faster than anyone else. Um, like I'm sure probably you guys have at some point you guys have spoken to people and somebody say, "Oh, Loke is very creative. Oh, Usher is very creative." Like that is an attractive trait. But now if everyone is creative, well then how does that make you special? You're not unique anymore. So artists are really up in arms about this because you know they're not as important anymore. That's it. Anyone that can do this Ghibli pictures, these animations that you're showing me, anyone that can like can make a music video, album, etc., etc. And maybe there's a fear
Fucking podcast, dude. Just even
podcast.
even what we are doing right now, there's people that lost jobs. You needed to have a production studio to do what me, you, and Oshis are doing right now. You need to hire 10, 20, 30 people to do it. Now you just need 3 laptops and motherfuckers having time.
Exactly. And that's a problem for some people, but you know, it is what it is. Technology has infiltrated art forms and we just have to get used to it. I think you're gonna be we're all in a position now where it's not that AI is gonna necessarily take your job. Of course, it's gonna take some jobs, but it's gonna be somebody using AI that will take your job. So you have to adapt quickly, and if you do that, you should be in a good position, or at least in a stronger position than your colleagues.
Yep. Let's check some of
I
the
just,
comments here.
I just want to differ with
Sorry, I was
I.
just going.
So I don't think, and we had a seminar at work recently where they brought on an expert that specializes in AI, digitization, and all this future stuff, including crypto and all that there. And then what he said was very true, in my opinion. He said, "Listen, if you're a guy that is making AI art, sorry, that is an artist, and that is fucking good at art, I'm telling you that you are 10 steps ahead of anyone that's trying to generate art from AI because you can use AI to optimize what you do. So instead of you doing one sketch a day, you can now do 20 sketches at that level that you're doing sketches at. So this is not technology that is necessarily going to hurt you unless you look at it that way. It will make you better. Instead of now you sending your shit to DC for them to approve, you can make your entire comic books now as an artist if you're creative. You don't have to rely on them for work. So this is going to free you if you're an individual who cares about enterprise and wants to progress themselves. It's going to give you more tools to be better. It's not going to hurt you. It will only hurt you if you just limit yourself to that thing that you were doing. Maybe you just wanted to produce one sketch a week. Then you're sort of fucked.
I overall agree with you. I'm never gonna say this is a disagreement. I think one part that's important to note here is that if you're the artist and you already have the skill, that's the hardest part. Now, turning that into a business is also extremely hard. But it's easy to find somebody to manage that. It's easy to find somebody to teach you how to do certain things. The actual skill part itself, though, is what's being diminished. So, if you're somebody from Studio Ghibli, you know you are the artist and you are going to draw on these things, you found a publication to then create Studio Ghibli, right? You know, that in itself. The problem is another artist can now learn how to do, you know, the Studio Ghibli design, and then he can find another publication to just sponsor him and to push him. So what I agree actually with everything you're saying, but I think the fear comes from the fact that like someone like Ushers now, who isn't an artist, like who draws pictures like this, he can get to that level. And because Ushers maybe knows more business than, you know, the actual guy who's creating this artwork, Ushers can then circumvent him and then become the new Studio Ghibli.
I think it takes much more effort than that
And I was
to
about to
become
say,
Studio Ghibli. A lot more effort. It's exactly what Osh is saying. It's just like someone that says, "Ooh, I want to write a book," and
yeah,
then you think you're gonna write a book that's going to be the next Harry Potter, and then you go into Chat GPT and you're like, make a book that's like Harry Potter, that's gonna sell, but instead of wizards, it's, I don't know, samurai. Like ChatGPT will do its best effort to rip off of Harry Potter, but because you're not a writer, you will just take you. All you can do is take whatever ChatGPT spits out, copy and paste, and then people will just shit on your work. They'll call it derivative. There will be no soul, etc., etc. But if you're an actual writer, then you can create an actual, how excuse me, an actual creation. I saw a post, an actual a post a couple of weeks ago. People have been using this Ghibli thing for memes. Someone used the first time meme. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The one where the guy's looking at someone else that's about to get hung, and then he looks at him. He's like, "Is it your first time?" And the Ghibli meme didn't have the rope on the guy's neck. Clearly, you can see the limitations of AI. It's those little touches, those little additions that will always go missing. In my opinion, I don't think we are the generation that will see AI fully eliminate creative work. But I think the building blocks are definitely being put in place right now.
My pushback there a little bit is that, so for example, look, that image you were able to detect that, like, nah, this is off. There's something wrong here. Fingers are off, hair is off. This doesn't look legit. That's all you need. The person who published that picture just is sloppy. They don't have any. They don't even have the base talents to say, okay, let me just review this. You, for example, you couldn't draw a let's say a Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? You know, with a dragon and all these kind of fancy designs. You couldn't draw that, right? But you can see a crappy version. So if you go to ChatGPT or whatever image generator, and you say draw this card like this, and you put in the right prompts, because I've seen these guys. Like I'll tell my AI to make to do something, yeah, and then somebody else will come up with a better prompt, and it'll be like a long sentence, like
Yeah.
dragon falling down that has its neck turned in a
Mhm.
classical style with some, smoke coming out of its nose. Like they're detailed like this. This guy can't draw, can't do nothing, but he can make the prompt, and then that picture is amazing. And here's the thing, yeah, when he shows you look that picture, you can say it's really good, but the fingers are off. What I'm saying is that a person with common sense can see the fingers are off. So that guy could easily say, okay, fix the fingers. And then it's done. Fingers are fixed. So now if he can do that, yeah, he can then say, make me 200 versions of this because I want to make a deck building game like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon cards. And then there you go. He already has the cards now. So the problem is that artist out there, he's looking at this saying, well, that's crazy because this guy is good at it. He's not good at drawing, but he's good at creating the prompts. And that's what you're competing with. Somebody who can do what you can do in the
Yeah.
space of 20 minutes or 1 hour that would normally take you 7 months or 1 year
Months.
to do.
Well, that's what happens when you're making Chevy and Toyota just opens a whatchamacallit, a dealership next to you and they can produce a
Yeah.
car and auto. That's exactly what it is. It's all it is it's capitalism competition. Like
Mhm.
I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't feel necessarily. I just feel that there's been more production. As much as art is precious, and then people it makes them feel special and whatever, whatever, whatever. However, it makes you feel. We all feel something from art. I get that, but the bottom line is people that have actually done tangible things like build cars from scratch using metal. Those people no longer have those jobs. Those to me were more interesting crafts or more productive or crafts that added more to what we have today than you drawing pretty pictures and you being good at drawing pretty pictures. And I'm saying to you that if you do draw pretty pictures, you actually have an advantage right now because you understand art in the same in such a complex way that a person that's just is experimenting with prompts will never understand it. So if you use those tools will empower you to be. You could be your own Marvel. You could be your own DC overnight if you are interested in putting your because now you don't no longer have to spend an entire day on one painting. So maybe you should invest in that fucking education to be a better businessman, so you can get more better output out of your art. But you have all the tools today, which is the exact opposite of before. Before, you either had to be exceptionally talented, have the right connections, work for the right companies, and then maybe you can become the next John Romita, or the next who's the guy that did that made Spider-Man? Is it John Romita? I think so. But like any of those artists, like a Jack Kirby or any of those guys, you needed to be exceptionally talented. What you need today is vision, imagination, and drive.
Do you know, like to your point just there, right? I can't remember the way this was
Damn,
phrased,
Oshus. I
but
almost feel like I need to applaud. God damn. That was very inspirational.
well, one of my mates said something about how like the way the world works is you have creatives and then you have people who are like the business focused people, like they're very good at getting the business part done, and then the creatives are just not that, and that's just how the world is divided, right? So you could say someone like a Mark Zuckerberg, for example. He was the one who created Facebook. You had the guys who could, but Zuckerberg was a businessman who was able to turn it into Facebook, or even Elon, for example.
Mhm.
He can take an idea and turn it into something big. The fear is the alpha guys like Elon and Zuckerberg, because they don't need the creative part anymore, because AI does that part, but they're always going to win. So the creative people now need to become business like focus. The problem is they don't have that skill set, right?
Do
Whereas
they need the skill set?
they need they probably do, yeah.
No, they don't,
Why'd you say that?
because they've got AI. Like whatever AI can emulate from an artistic perspective, they can emulate from a business perspective. You can ask Grog now for a whatchamacallit, a multi-year business plan to help you start an
I
art
think I
company
think
or whatever.
I
You can
agree.
do that. You
But
have all that
I think
right
the
now.
problem is really the execution, right? So I think business guys, they can see everything. They can see all the moving parts really, really well. They can see the marketing, they can see the production, they can see all these things and bring it together. AI allows them to do all these things, right? So I'm sorry, allows them to actually take the creative part and do it. I think the creative person, they can type in all these things that they want, like, oh, create me a business plan. I think the problem they're gonna face is they don't have that intuition to do business. So therefore they're always gonna be lacking. Is a creative person using AI from a business perspective gonna succeed over somebody who already sees the business opportunity and doesn't need the creative person at all?
Can
I
I give
think that's
you?
where the battle is.
Can I tell you like and you're absolutely right, but like there's one consistency in your example.
Hmm.
That same person, if they were garbage at managing business and they could draw, they would still be an indie artist that is garbage at managing business and that can draw, because it's harder to build human relationships that will further your business than actually using AI tools. And that's the bottom line, is that like you, like regardless of how talented of an artist you are, like there's so many, like and as a guy that's like a lifer when it comes to comic books, there are so many great artists that all died broke because they couldn't manage the business sides of it,
Hmm.
including the guy that made Batman.
Yep.
How does the guy that
Died
made
alone.
Batman
Died alone
die?
in an
And he never
apartment.
took, and the thing is, he never took zero credit for creating Batman. The guy who was the better businessman did,
Wasn't
which was
Tesla
Bob
supposed to be
Kane.
one of those guys as well?
Yes,
Wasn't what?
absolutely. Against
Tesla.
Tesla versus Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison could
Mm.
patent and sell electricity. Tesla's idea of electricity, which was that, what was it, something current that could flow through the air, that idea was just not feasible from a packaging perspective where you could package it and sell it to someone. And that's the thing, that there's nothing new here, Ty. That's all I'm saying to you, Ty, is that there's nothing. AI has not changed the human dynamics that govern how we either manage as business people or creatives. All it's done
Okay.
is just added more options for people before would have needed hundreds of millions in terms of funding. So now my book actually has a chance against Game of Thrones, or your comic book has actually got a chance against the next Spider-Man comic book, because you can actually use a lot of groundwork being created by AI. I'm not saying plagiarize someone else's work. I'm saying you're in a position that if you are interested and you are good, your chances of succeeding are better than they've ever been before in any time in history. As an
I'm gonna agree. Like ultimately, I just think there's a versus mode that I'm just not too sure how it'll pan out. Like I think both sides will win. The question is who loses more. I'm not too sure. Like, let's look at Squid Game for example, right? The guy who wrote that, he wrote it. It was well done,
Yeah.
but it needed Netflix to make it into a production. The problem is Netflix already has that business mindset, so Netflix can use an AI to create a Squid Game, but can the creator of Squid Game get the finances? Does he have the business acumen to come to bring everything together to then create a Squid Game TV show? I don't know if he does. He
But that's
might
Okay,
why
so
need to
let me
do
ask
his
you a
Netflix is
question.
not
research.
the only provider. Hold on, Ty. It's why Netflix is not the only game in town. It's the biggest game in town, but it's not the only game in town.
Can I ask a question?
Hmm.
Who's the most successful entertainer in the world today?
Alive
Alive.
entertainer. Are
Of
we
all
talking
time
of all
today,
time?
in terms of just if you look at like how much presence he has in
Jackson,
our who?
Michael Jackson.
No.
Who
Michael's dead, dude.
Who
alive
like
today?
today? No, I'm saying no, not like when I say entertainer, who in the entertainment business is more successful today than anyone else? Let me put it like that. Let me not say entertainer as in like someone that produces great art. I mean, who has the biggest platform of entertainment today in the world?
Are we talking about a person or a platform? I'm not too sure. Drake, Kendrick.
I'll give you an example. His name rhymes with feast.
I don't know. You just gotta say
Mr.
who it is.
Beast
Beast, Mr.
Exactly.
Beast.
Mr.
Okay.
Beast. What the freaking hell is Mr. Beast?
is just a random dude that streams.
He's exactly. Look at that. A dude from the internet has a bigger following than any studio with hundreds of millions. He started this on the internet using YouTube. Yes, you can argue that, well, yeah, maybe he had certain advantages, but dude, using a YouTube platform, he was able to crush production studios that had budgets for decades. What does that tell you about what I'm saying about how accessible this has become? And even if you go to like the most watched entertainers in the world, I promise you, top 10 is probably all YouTubers, not people that run shows that cost billions or millions of dollars on network TV. It's a bunch of people that just did a DIY'd it. Like the number one critic, in my opinion, if you ask me, and if I look at the number, is probably Jeremy Jans. Jeremy Jans has more
Yeah,
followers than
yeah,
critics that I used to grow up watching on TV. He's got over 2 million
yeah.
followers.
People that know actors, like first names and have phone numbers, but they don't have those platforms.
That's my point, and that's like if today you are creative enough and you have just you don't need like all I'm saying is that you don't need a Netflix worth of knowledge for you to make a successful Squid Games if you're that guy and you're that creative. He could have made it work on another platform like a YouTube, and he could have gotten the same sort of traction, if not even more. I'm saying to you that how I love how dynamic today is versus back in the day when you had to ask a rich guy to sponsor you for you to be successful, and that was the only option you had.
Now you just need to
Today,
go viral and make some good decisions.
exactly,
Remember
like
that Hawk Tour, the Hawk Tour chick?
yes, that person,
Man,
and that's what I'm
that was
saying is that
some
like
random ass shit, bro.
absolutely,
That was
that's
some
all I'm
random
saying.
ass shit. Dayreezy is an artist. Says, I'm with you on Oshus. I used to draw and sketch a lot. The AI will be very helpful for me to speed up my work and add on it. It's a weird day. It's a weird day. Oshus is taking a couple of dubs today. I don't know what's going on. Like, something's off. Something's off. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. Netflix says kids don't care about consoles. 8-year-olds aren't dreaming of PlayStation 6. We don't even need to get into the article. The headline says everything. Everything you need to know. Ty, are you with it? Or are you calling cap?
Speaking facts, this is true. Um, no, 8-year-olds. Well, I don't know. 8-year-olds are not thinking about a lot of things, but they're definitely not talking about the PlayStation 6. This is true. Most kids today want to play their games on multiple different systems or platforms. So yeah, why would you think about a PlayStation 6 when your mobile phone or your tablet is probably the primary source of playing video games? My friend would tell me that his nephew plays his games on his mobile phone, and he's great at touchscreen stuff. He's great at using the tablets to play Minecraft or whatever it is. Why you'd want a dedicated device that just plays games seems wild, especially when your mobile phone is what did all those things for you. The next step will actually just be the PC. I think these kids who are 8 years old now, they expect in the future to turn the smart TV, press an Xbox app, Steam app, PlayStation app, whatever it is, and probably play those games there or stream it there. They have no loyalties to these consoles, and I think, yeah, I mean, basically, I think he's right. There's no lies were told here.
All right. All right. Oshus, do you also think this is the end?
Well, like the first thing I'll say to you, Loke, is that like today's kids don't do a lot of things. They don't drink. They don't have sex. Like anything that we thought was cool growing up, they don't do. Like they don't smoke. Maybe they smoke some weed because it's legal now. But like today's kids are like they are the complete antithesis of what we grew up with and we thought was cool, right? Like I think these kids are probably gonna watch a Tarantino movie and think that's racist. That's how different of a mindset that these kids are versus like how we grew up and what we understood and what we considered cool. So of course they've got no room for consoles. Everything they know is an app.
Oshus, look
Every
at the
game.
screen. Look at the screen, Oshus.
You see, I can't see it on my native screen. I have to go on YouTube. Let me check this out.
Oh my god.
You see, I'm missing out on the joke because I can't see it. Like, basically.
Why is it more funny the fact that you don't know what's on the screen?
Instead,
No, I
Ush's
don't.
neurons are firing today.
Let's see.
Oh shit. Oh,
There we go. Okay, I'm on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, but it says Netflix says kids don't care about consoles. That like Osha says neurons. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. Thank you.
oh
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you. I appreciate Day
Oh
Reezy.
my god.
I think Day Reezy is just saying that because I'm agreeing with a lot of his points today. But like, yeah,
Pretty
but like,
much. Pretty much.
but my
Yeah.
point is like, kids. I don't put stock in anything that kids today are doing because I just understand that in terms of where I come from, the generation after always does worse than the generation before. I mean, we were raised by Gen X and the boomers, and we turned out far worse than the guys that were raised by the finest generation, which is the guys that grew up in the First and the Second World War, blah blah blah. But my whole point is that the kids today, their fundamental experiences are things that I don't care about. Like they get fun from things that I think are very diminished experiences. Like instead of being able to invest in a game, your experience with games is apps that where you play games in bits of 4 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
My idea of gaming and your idea of gaming are very, and this is why I don't like Phil Spencer's messaging, because Phil Spencer's messaging as well, that is gaming, is the 8 to 10 minute experience. That's how people experience games today. I'm like, no, Phil Spencer. There's still people that still want to experience traditional gaming, and you need to sort of nurture that message. But if you just want the people that care about the 8 to 10 minute games that they play on the subway or wherever, then I'm not your market. I'm not your target market. And this is your market, is these kids that are in, like, they don't care about consoles because they don't invest in anything. Like, they don't invest in anything. I don't even think these people care about cars, dude. Like, go do a survey on these young kids coming up. Find out how many of them care about what a Lamborghini is or what a Ferrari is or what any sort of car is
So
that are not.
let me just interject real quick there. I think a lot of what you're saying is accurate with these kids. You're right. Things are changing, and we have different views on what's great, what's fun, the kind of games we play. But when Phil says something like this, what he's really saying is like, yeah, don't worry, you're still gonna get your AAA games, all that kind of stuff. However, if we want to survive as a platform or as a game company, there can't be a time when these 13-year-olds or 8-year-olds who are now the market, and you're not the market anymore because now you're 70, 80, or you stop playing games, and we're not in a position to capitalize on that because then we just die. One of the things that the Dreamcast guy, shit, what's his name, Peter Moore said is that the Japanese developers for the Dreamcast, they were great, they were amazing, but the industry was moving towards Western games. Western games were becoming the focal point, and the Dreamcast didn't have these things. Sony knew the Western games were important. That's why they bought the Western studio, Seacom or whatever it's called. That's why you started seeing Sony, really do deals with like GTA and all these kind of games because they knew there was a shift coming, and because Sega wasn't in a position to do that shift, they went out of business. It was one of the reasons why they went out of business. So I think what Phil is saying is that, yeah, Ushers, we can keep focusing on you, but as soon as you're leaving, we die. So
No.
we need to set the foundations in place. So when that 8-year-old game, where that 8-year-old guy wants to play the new Halo, and you're 70 or whatever it is, that Halo game might be different from what you're used to, but at least
Okay.
we're surviving.
So let me ask you a question. So how many games were successful on the original PS2 that were strictly Western games versus Eastern games?
I mean, that's a big question. Like, I'm gonna, and
It
neither
Okay,
can
sounds
but
like
Tyler
now
a
we're
really.
good
not even
question.
on topic anymore. We're not even
No,
on
but like
topic
no, but
anymore.
but the reason I'm bringing that up is because at the time when you're saying that there was a transition between West and Eastern games, the PS2 was traditionally still or selling majority up until later on in its lifespan. It was still selling majority Japanese games. The most successful, in if I think carefully, like the most successful Western games at that time, aside from EA and other sports games and GTA, etc., were like the God of Wars from a Sony perspective. But don't get it twisted. The Japanese games were just as accessible.
No, no, no.
Resident
I'm
Evil was
saying,
as
was
big.
there a shift happening?
I think what you started to see there was that, like, from a company's perspective in terms of making games, a lot of companies, yes, were moving to making games from the
Yeah,
West.
because I mean, listen, when I think about the PlayStation One, right, I think of Crash Bandicoot. I was thinking about games like Rayman. There was
Hmm.
these games were starting to become something special, right? So the shift was happening, and then with the PS2, the shift was maybe growing, and then eventually with the PS3, the shift occurred. Like
No,
when,
I
like
think that that is
when,
very false
okay,
because
when do you think
very
the
simple
West
example.
became the primary driver of video games?
Then again, that's a very subjective question in the sense that, like, I don't think the West ever became the primary driver. And I'll give you an example. Who's the
Go ahead.
biggest
I
gaming
love,
company? Who's the biggest
I
gaming
love,
company in the world
fellas,
today?
fellas. I love how we've been talking for the last 5 minutes and not even addressed the actual headline on the screen. That's been so
Yo,
fun.
I addressed it.
Anyways, before we log off, thanks everyone for coming through. Really appreciate it. Ushers, plug your
Hmm.
channel, tell people where they can find you, etc., etc.
You can find me on the interwebs. So I am on this platform, YouTube, as Oz the Wiz or Osha7. I'm also on Twitter as Oz the Wiz. And you can also find me on SA's biggest Xbox um, group, that is Xbox Players South Africa. I'm not really doing anything at the moment. I'm just too busy with other stuff. But again, nothing at the moment in the works.
All right, Ty. Before you leave, please plug your channel. Tell people where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Taye Talks, TAYETALK. Yes, that's on Twitter and YouTube. No videos in mind, but I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and depending on how Yasuke's story goes, I might make a. Oh, I'm taking notes anyway, so there's a chance I might make a video on Ubisoft's depiction of Yasuke in comparison to other samurai, other like entities, like the Netflix adaptation, Samurai Warriors adaptation, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I might do that. I'm just not too sure yet. Depends if the story is interesting or not.
All right, all right, good stuff, good stuff. Uh, yes, Vince. I'm trying to cap it to two. I'm trying. It wasn't fluff. We just you know, it happens sometimes. You know, one thing leads to the next, to the next, to the next, and then suddenly it's been 20 minutes and we're not even talking about the thing that we were talking about. Anyways, thank you so much for coming through, everyone. We will be back tomorrow, same time, talking about more video game related stuff. We will also have time to look at two very interesting points that I wanted to get to today, but we didn't have time. Well, tomorrow we're going to be talking a lot about Intergalactic and the state that it's in, and also the amount of sales and attention that Xbox games have been getting on PlayStation. That'll be good. That'll be really good. Oshis, make sure to bring all your number bashing numbers,
Yeah.
so you can take a big crap on Xbox. But be careful. Be careful. You might just be wrong. Thank you, everyone. Make sure to smash the like button on the way out. We'll see you tomorrow for Everything Plus Gaming. Goodbye.
They said we said, they said we said, they said